Hey everyone! Wait a second, hold on, this isn't right. There we go, back to the 80s. What's up everyone, John from Beyond ARTV. Today I want to talk to you about a band called I Don't Know How, but They Found Me. Some of you are probably rejoicing and others are thinking, huh, that's a long band name. Yes, it's a long band name, but it often gets abbreviated to iDKHOW. And if you're wondering, this sounds a little bit familiar, how could I possibly know about this? Do I know somebody in the band? You probably do, especially if you're a Panic at the Disco fan. You might know the name Dallon Weekes because this is Dallon's project. He's following up the Brobecks, which were so severely underrated. And for everybody who's asking, why haven't you reviewed the Brobecks? I actually did review Violent Things on Twitter. There's a link in the description. Dallon Weekes announced at the beginning of 2018 that he had left Panic at the Disco. He had been reduced to a touring member once again, and honestly, I felt like that was such a shame because his songwriting skills are top notch. I love hearing what he has to say, and the fact that he's so aggressive, descriptive, and just really fleshes things out. Violent Things is perfection, and honestly, his songwriting on Panic's album Too Weird to Live, Too Rare to Die is severely underrated. I Don't Know How is a duo consisting of, yes, of course, Dallon Weekes, but also the former Falling in Reverse drummer Ryan Seaman, and I have to say, I think his talents are being utilized in a much better way here, because Falling in Reverse, that's a sinking ship. The reason why I'm choosing to talk about I Don't Know How right now is because they've just signed a major deal with Fearless Records, and it's cool to see them getting signed. I mean, sure, they were doing the independent things. In fact, I thought it was hilarious that under the Choke single on Spotify, it said for label, None You Jerk Records. That's just hilarious commentary. They've moved over to Fearless Records though, and I understand why. They want to bring new things to the table, but I also want to talk to you guys not only about the fact that they've signed and have a new song. I'll talk about more of their songs in just a minute, but I want to talk about the aesthetic that they have going on and why it's so cool. I Don't Know How, But They Found Me is supposed to be kind of like tracing back roots in the sense that we're just uncovering recordings of a band that existed in the 1980s. More specifically, 1983 seems to be the year that gets mentioned quite often. You can see that in the description for the Modern Day Kane music video. And also, when they signed with Fearless, they talked about the fact that they're going to help them uncover more of those hidden tapes. It's really interesting because it allows them to do something very creative and visionary, but it also doesn't feel gimmicky, especially with the way that the music shines. Songs like Modern Day Kane definitely have throwback feelings in them with the synthesizers that feel quite glamorous, quite 80s, but also the guitars, the vocals, and the timeless lyrics. Everything fits in, and it doesn't feel dated, but it also doesn't name check modern things, so you kind of know exactly where they are. It's interesting because it just allows you to kind of expand your mind and imagine perhaps maybe this was recordings for the 80s, even though it's actually not. As the band have released more songs, they've put out music videos and also other teases that obviously look very old, very flashback, very VHS heavy with the way the effects are processed. Even with their new single, they had a lyric video for it that had an 80s feeling to it, the way that it rolled through in the background and looped. I think that there's been other bands that have kind of done that, but it's really interesting to see a band just dedicating themselves to going full on into this. Even though they are a modern band, one that are actively playing shows and that sort of thing, they still have this whole lore where it's like, hey, this is fun because we're uncovering these old tapes, and it's kind of nice to see it roll out that way. The songs I want to talk about in this video are Modern Day Kane, their new single Do It All the Time, their massive song that was very successful for them, Choke, and also the opening band. More specifically, I believe No One Likes the Opening Band. We'll start there because I love the music video for this. It shows them playing at a talent show circa mid-1983, and it has an older woman playing piano for them, and Dallon is just up on stage getting it. Meanwhile, this white clothed creature is standing in the background just kind of looming, and it's kind of funny. And at the end of the video, they get booed off, and I found that very interesting, but obviously I wanted to focus on the music and see how it stood out. And I really like it because it's mainly just supported by piano, and it really pushes itself. It'd be interesting to see if this actually makes it onto the full-length album that they're going to be putting out, maybe as an opening track since they're talking about an opening band. And honestly, there is a message there that rings true. Go see the opening acts, you might find something you love. Their newest single at the time of recording this video is called Do It All the Time, And honestly, it is different for them. It's kind of super funky, and I love the way that it moves there, but it grows on you the more you listen to it. It has this peppy bass to it, and the way that it just kind of jumps around with some of the jittery drums in the background, and the fact that Dallon comes across so cocky with the lyrics, talking about stealing somebody's girl, which, yes, is kind of overused, and I don't always like that, but here, I don't know how, but they found a way to make it work. If you're looking for something a little bit more danceable and 80s, I highly recommend you go hear the track Modern Day Kane, because I love the aura that this one just really radiates with. It's something so pleasant, and it really lets you into the mind of Dallon Weekes, because as a songwriter, I like the fact that he's skilled in descriptiveness. He uses terms that many people just don't, and that transfers over into the other song that I have to talk about, and that is Choke. It's probably my favorite out of all of the songs they've released so far, but I have to say Modern Day Kane is kind of in the running there too. Now, Choke is something that starts off with kind of a playful vibe to it that might remind you of something like the Brobecks, Dallon's other project, and it's easy to see that he's definitely continuing his writing style there. But I like the fact that Choke is so unabashedly dark, talking about smiling while somebody dies, essentially because maybe somebody wronged them and then karma comes back to bite them. It's probably not literal, but even if it is, it's just like, wow, maybe I shouldn't be like smiling and saying, oh wow, this is great writing, but it actually is. The descriptiveness, the attention to detail, and the fact that the music to back it up is so damn catchy. That chorus is everything. So compelling, so uber sticky. You have to listen to this song, and it's one that you will listen to over and over and over again. I don't know how, but They Found Me are shaping up to be one of the most interesting bands of this year. Not only in the sense that they're doing something cool with the throwback aesthetic and the fact that they're uncovering tapes, but also in the sense that the music is awesome. They haven't put out a song that I dislike, and I think that they already have an established fan base thanks to the fact that Dallon was so popular in Panic at the Disco. What do you guys think though? Let me know in the comment section down below. Have you checked out the band yet? If you haven't, then I will leave a link to stream their music in the description down below. Don't forget to check out my review of the Brobecks Violent Things over on Twitter. There's a link for that in the description too. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing me talk about I Don't Know How, But They Found Me. I've been having a lot of requests for this, so hopefully that fulfilled that. Be sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe if you are new to the channel, because I talk about all things music not only here, but also my main channel ARTV. A link for that in the description. A couple of other videos right here, socials in the description, and I'll see you soon on ARTV.